absolutely crazy is it what we put ourselves through just to appear as what we think other people want? The little gremlin inside of ourselves that self-critiques and creates these little, it's like the subconscious trying to keep you safe, yet completely limits what we really could be doing. I'm not at my house, and I actually took the time to adjust the camera just now, and I kind of rearrange some things in the background. The sun is right in my face, so I can't actually see what the screen shows, but as far as I'm concerned, we have good lighting, and who really cares, right? Unfortunately, I'm natural. I don't have a prestige look in my everyday life, and while I've always tried to portray what I always thought everybody else wanted, I'm coming to the realization that there's a lot of people that would just rather be around people that are like themselves. Now, don't get me wrong, just because I am one way doesn't mean that I don't want to get better in another. I feel like that's just part of growing. There's a point where that comfort is definitely welcome, that normal feeling that every day has, pretty much worked out this way, and so I know what to expect. It's like you need that balance of that mixed in with the new so that you stay sane, because I will say trying to do a whole bunch of new things all at once really get you scattered, and then you have no confidence because it's like, I am brand new. And when you're brand new, we all suck at the beginning. But that embarrassment that occurs, that shame or guilt that creeps in whenever starting something new. I mean, I'm in my late 30s. So what I've done up until this point, I've gotten really good at. May not be the most productive, but I've gotten really good at it. So whenever I try something new, it's like, yeah, I'm never gonna make it. I'm never gonna get this figured out. But everyone who's ever started anything has taken some time to actually get good at what they're doing. I had the realization this morning that stepping into the uncomfortable is like pushing a bruise. I don't know about you, but whenever I would get a bruise, you just want to keep poking it, and you get that little bit of pain. But the more you do it, the pain, either you just get used to the pain or it goes away, because clearly you're healing. Which, there you have it. If you're into the healing journey, that uncomfortableness is like pressing the bruise. The more you press it, the more it's going to go away. Or you at least lose the satisfaction of the pain, because eventually it's just going to become natural. It's going to become your everyday normal. It's like that uncomfortable whenever you're doing stuff that is new, that's uncomfortable, that you're not very good at. But the more you do it, the more experience you get at it. And then eventually, once you get out of your own way, you allow yourself to realize that it's just natural. It's like those people in the 90-day challenges or the 100-day challenges. It's amazing to me how many times I see somebody create a TikTok account or some other social media, and they're like, this is my commitment to myself to learn how to talk better or whatever. And so they're doing 100 days of just speaking into a camera, which I'm not gonna lie. I mean, clearly, if you've watched my past videos, there's quite a bit of terribleness. But is it really terrible? It's uncomfortable learning that is being portrayed. And even now, I know that I'm at a better place than where I was 6 months ago, considering the fact that I'm inconsistent, so we haven't been doing that 100-day challenge. It's amazing to watch other people's progress. This one chick that I came across, she was on day 34 of 100 days of talking, and she talked way better than some of the stuff that I come up with. It just comes to show that whenever you are learning something, of course the beginning is going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be embarrassing because, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know how it works. You haven't gotten your feelers into it to where you feel comfortable until you do it a few times. I don't know about you, but think about back when you were a kid and you were learning how to write cursive because you're a millennial, and I know that you were taught how to write in cursive in school. Who cares about these kids nowadays? We had the challenge. Even writing just our regular letters, or reading, or learning how to dribble a basketball, or learning how to create the back parts of a MySpace page. Like, weren't we all coders at some time? Why aren't we the ones who are blowing up this whole internet technical situation? At some point, we were really good at something, but it still took us a moment to figure it out. And like they say, if you don't use it, you lose it. So clearly, those who stuck with their technical backgrounds after creating their MySpace page are probably doing a whole bunch more in the IT world, and kudos to them. But for the rest of us who got caught up with the conditioning or the programming or whatever you want to call it from everyday society, thinking that we had to do things a certain way, we had to hustle, we had to grind, we had to do what we didn't really want to do so that we could survive. And now we're at this point where it's like, okay, so here we are, I'm not happy, and there's so many new options, so why not let's try? That's the joy of where we're at in our lives. I feel like we as millennials actually have it the best, because maybe it was just me in the Midwest, lots of old time thoughts, lots of farmers, a lot of people that didn't really get out of where they grew up. So that hard work, that old mentality of like, this is the way it is, and you work hard and you make money and you just keep grinding, really set a foundation, while also being in that generation where new stuff started creating, technology started growing. We got the internet, we got smartphones, we have this computer at our hand that we've actually grown into, where some of the older generations, not some, the older generation didn't have that luxury. They were just getting passed down their depression antics from their parents or whatever was going on. And where the kids today don't know anything about that specific time period, because let's face it, we either raised them or our friends Gen X raised them, who we've started trickling down some newer ideas. Yet it's just like when we were younger and people were like, oh, the millennials. And here they are, and we're like, oh, 6, 7. But we're right in the mix. I feel like we have a good backbone. We have a good understanding of both generations, both ideas that are coming together. I think we're the most adaptable. Would you agree? The biggest thing that I have found is I am my own worst critic. I am the one who stops my progression moving forward. Like I've said, it's taken me 3 to 4 years to really even get to this point of understanding. Like, I knew that I wanted something different, and so I started working on learning different skills to better my situation. But in reality of it all, is I really had to get to understand myself in order to understand what I really wanted, instead of just listening to all the noise, all the influencing around me. Even if it wasn't social media, there was still influencing of what my friends thought, what my family thought, what my coworkers thought. While that's cool, I mean, it's great to get feedback from others, there's also that understanding that because somebody else is limited in the way that they think, if you solely rely on other people's input, then on top of your own self-critic limitations, you're also adding into with their limitations. And it's like, how do we move forward when everything's out to get us? And that's just, I mean, it's our choice. And it's hard. That was a big thing that I had to figure out, was like, that's hard. That's a hard challenge to come by when you've been working at it for 30 years and accumulating all these limitations, all these little gremlins hanging out inside of you, telling you, oh, well, you can't do that because that's unsatisfactory, or nobody's done that before, or they've done it, but they're in a different boat than me. It's just really irritating whenever I catch myself in that little rotation of a cycle of realizing, like, why is it that they can do it but I can't? And it's because I have put a little blocker. I have put a little wall on myself, and the little gremlin comes out and he's like, because you're not good enough, because you don't look like they do, because you don't have enough money. Everybody had to start somewhere. And that's, I mean, who cares? Who cares what they started out with? That's their journey. Like, where I'm at in my journey is I've made a lot of mistakes, but because of those mistakes, I now get to move forward and have that little lesson as my guiding force, if you will. I still don't have 100% understanding about what's going to happen, but I will tell you that the another prospect of those last few years that's really kind of just stunted me has been me attempting to create the perfect plan so that I know the outcome and I have something that I'm working towards. I feel like that's a little bit of that, like, working for somebody else, which I really haven't done, but just that mentality of having somebody give you the direction, somebody giving you a goal, and then, like, because they gave it to you, then you can push the blame off on them. Like, well, if it didn't work out, this is what I was told to do, and I'm getting paid for it anyway, so we'll figure it out. That safety net, which is cool. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Believe me, every once in a while, I'm sitting here and I'm like, yeah, food is nice. Being paid for figuring things out for other people is nice. But I'm just stubborn, and I really just don't want somebody else telling me what I have to do. So, anyways, so with that in mind, I'm coming back to that periodically too. Like, oh, it'd be just so much easier if I had somebody to tell me what to do. I still got paid, that safety net. There's no harm, no foul. I get to eat. They get somebody to do their dirty work. That's not really dirty work, but it's all fine and it's all dandy and everybody wins. Except for in my case, I don't win, because my whole underlying structure that I want to create for myself is the freedom to have the time that I want to have the income, to have the freedom to just go and experience the things that I want to without having the burden of like that set schedule, that structured, like, you have to do this in order to get this, but in these confined, like, controlled areas. Because the reality of it is even whenever you're creating your own thing, like, you do have your set structure of what you have to do this to get this, but you're in control of it. Is this a control thing? I think it's more of a freedom thing. I'm still on the freedom, and I feel as though, as much as I want that freedom, those little gremlins come in and they disrupt, and they bring in the guilt and the shame of, like, well, you're not gonna be perfect at it. You can't do it this way because you don't know the outcome. But I'll never know the outcome if I don't do it this way. If I don't take the advice that I hear from somebody else, even if it just entices me to want to try it. I mean, I'm pretty guilty of that as well. You don't know what you don't know. And you won't know until you know. So this whole video, just to say that we are in a prime spot. We are probably the most adaptable generation, just from our experiences, from our whole livelihood. All we have to do is get out of our own way. Let go of the little gremlins that are trying to shut us down from all those old ways of thinking, and open up to these new ways of thinking and combine them. Like, we're in that spot where we get to combine both together and then create magic. We get to create whatever it is that we actually want to be. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. What do you think? Because me growing up in the Midwest, I feel like I had a whole lot of old school mentality going on, where I know some that were more in the city didn't quite have the farmer's mentality. So I would love to hear from you. Where are you at on that? Do you feel like we are adaptable? Can you resonate with the old school and the new school, and, like, finding yourself molding them together to create whatever you want to create? Or maybe that's just a me thing. But either way, the goal for this week is to get out of my own way. Until next time, bye.